he's not a conservative, but Glenn Greenwald is often lumped in with conservatives. Another person who spent most of his career apolitical, like not apolitical, but not being associated one way or another with any given wing, just reporting on news, whoever happens to do it, being known as an anti-war reporter more than anything else. But if you criticize the wrong side for the same things, you get lumped in with the opposite side. So, I mean, it's sort of we're going beyond our show notes here, James, but this is an interesting phenomenon that we're seeing where it sort of relates to for being a queer for Palestine, where it doesn't particularly matter what the nuance of your views or the nuance of your demographic is. If you believe the wrong thing in the moment, you're done.
Yeah, and what ends up happening is you've got certain shows that are a little bit left-leaning, or media that is left-leaning, and when you have an opinion that does not fit with kind of their idea of acceptable discourse, what they do is they stop inviting certain commenters to things. And these may be left-leaning commenters. And then when you have other media outlets on the right, or you have podcasts, or you have people wanting to have conversations, and we'll have conversations with anybody, it doesn't matter what side of this political discourse you're on, what ends up happening is these alt-right podcasts, these alt-right media will invite these people to have conversations. And just because they're curious. And now the left-wing media will look at that and say, well, we can't invite this person back because they are now on these right-wing shows.
They've been branded.
And
they've been stained.
They are a right-winger. And that's how they do it. They just push people out. And just by not, you can see, be curious, maybe we do an episode and we show the cases of people who have been slowly excommunicated from, who appeared a lot on mainstream media and were not allowed on after a certain point, or not invited back.
Well, I can think of two examples right now. Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberger. I mean, two guys
and
who...
They're both left to center.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Schellenberger made his entire career reporting on, as an environmentalist, reporting on and writing about renewable energy and the homelessness crisis in California. Like, a very self-described progressive liberal man who now, he made the mistake of being associated with Elon Musk, another noted former self-described Democrat. Like,
he used to be
with Taibbi,
a shining star of the left. Musk was held up, and he was mentioned, he was interviewed a lot, and now he's described as right wing, regardless of they actually, this label gets thrown around regardless of any due diligence of actually checking if their views have shifted.
That's right.
It's just a slur that's used.
How big of a shift, sorry to interrupt, how big of a shift, speaking of podcasts, has Joe Rogan taken in the last 2-3 years? Joe Rogan has always been a self-described liberal person, supportive of the welfare state, of a Bernie bro. He was one of the original Bernie bros, right? This is a guy who talks regularly about being growing up on food stamps and the importance of social programs, and how Obama is his favorite president, he views as the most presidential president we've ever had. Literally nothing about this guy is conservative in his life, other than, I don't know, people associate now. I was watching an Twitter X video the other day about how people associate health and fitness with the right wing now. So I don't know. I guess
if you're really interested in working out and weights, then you're following some conspiracy theories as well.
That's right.
So
conspiracy theories about body mass index.
Yeah. So
I don't know, man.
It's kind of sad to see the Overton window, the acceptable discourse, be narrowed and narrowed, and this is where I guess that's been the most interesting and also kind of frustrating and kind of draining this last month is seeing we've lost nuance along the way, and the Palestine-Israel conflict has it has people divided again. And what I'm worried, every time people are divided, I'm worried about some of these bigger issues. It's like people are so focused on these things, and we're not seeing kind of creeping authoritarian policies. We're not seeing digital IDs or these health passes or these things that erode away at the individual sovereignty of countries and the sovereignty of citizens within those countries. And people are so focused on these other things and like, well, this is important, but there's still some of these bigger issues out on there, and we're so distracted at the moment.